G'day everybody and welcome to another episode of Automotive Carnage. In today's episode, we are going to get completely sidetracked from all the other 16 projects and go get another one. Stay tuned to see what it is. Yes, good everyone, my name's DJ and thank you for joining me on this episode of Automotive Carnage. As I said, I've gone out and got yet another vehicle, but there's a very good reason to this. Now, recently, an opportunity has come up to learn how to drive from a bloke who actually knows how to drive, due to it actually being his job to legally drive fast when the time calls for it. Hint, hint. It then became his job to teach other people how to legally drive when the time calls for it. So he offered to teach me a few basic techniques and everything. And I'm like, you know what, I'd love to learn from a professional how to actually do J-turns, handbrake turns, all that kind of stuff. So, but unfortunately, all the vehicles I have either don't work or are not suitable for the task at hand. So, luckily, a friend came to town and he brought this. This is a 2000 and something BA Falcon station wagon. It's got the 6-cylinder barrel motor, and that's about all it has going for it, except that it is complete, it runs, it drives. I've already taken it out to the abandoned speedway track and given it a few laps, and there's just a couple of things that we need to tweak on it. Now before we get too much into that, let's have a look at the inside, show you around a bit. Yep, it's got a steering wheel, a handbrake, a back seat, plenty of cargo area. I mean, it's a full Falcon people, XT, so it's got power windows in the front, but winders in the back. She is bargain basement, this thing. But let's have a look under the hood. I mean, she's pretty clean. The seats, padding's gone. You can see I've already been out in the dust with it. There we go. Pop the bonnet. Let's see what we're working with here. Dun, 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 dun. Trusty old Barra 6-cylinder. So, yep, she's pretty standard. She's pretty clean. The aircon even works on this, so I'm really chuffed about that. So yeah, I've already gone out to the speedway track, as I said, and put it through its paces just to find out if it needs any work before the weekend to make it safer, easier to drive. And I'm glad that I did, because what we found out was that the brakes will be better used as a sponge cake than actually stopping you in an emergency. And something funky is going on with this passenger side wheel. That something funky is the lower ball joint. It's not just broken, it is completely and utterly snapped in half. So I've been out to the rubbish dump, our local parts supplier, and we have gone and sourced ourselves a new lower control arm. We're just going to swap over the whole thing because the bushes in the new one look okay. So instead of trying to press the old one out and the new one in, we will just go about putting the whole lower control arm in, and then that fixes that problem. So all in all, not too much that needs to be done. Bleed the brakes, fix the lower control arm, and then let's go out and do a couple more laps of the track and see if it's any better. We're not going to weld the diff, we're not going to do anything fancy like that. So at the end of the day, once it's all done, if it's still in one piece, we'll probably just sell it to someone else, and then they can take it over the pits or do what needs to be done to it. It's here to serve a purpose. It's not becoming a permanent fixture of the fleet. The speedway car is going to be the Cressida once it's done. So enough dilly-dallying, I've told you about the vehicle. Let's get into changing that lower control arm. Alrighty then, we have made progress. I'm no longer here by myself. We have my handy assistant, although he's not as good looking as some assistants, but anyway. We have an issue where Ford engineers wanted to screw with mechanics' heads, because lower control arms, oh hang on, sorry, ball joint. The ball joint was that screwed up that we had to chop the bloody thing, so that was fun. Anyway, back to our conundrum here, which I'm sure anyone who's worked on the BA knows about. Lower control arm, consumable item. It has rubbers in here that need to be replaced after X amount of kilometers. You would think they would design it to easily come out, but no! Let's just put the massive bolts for the K-frame in the way of getting a freaking lower control arm out. Yeah, good one, Ford. You know, you've been making cars for $100 plus years and you still can't figure that crap out. So what we've got to do is undo those bolts, and apparently you can drop the K-frame down just enough to be able to pull that out. Absolutely unnecessary step. What was meant to be a 5-minute job has now become probably all-nighter. Well, here we go, folks. We have made it to the abandoned speedway track. It has been a very long time since we have been out here, and that's simply because we just have not had a vehicle suitable to go thrashing around this wonderful, wonderful track at our disposal. Now, we are building the Cressida. Its main job will be to have some fun on this and many other tracks around the area. But for now, we want to come have some fun. As I said, we've got a fantastic instructor coming to help me learn a couple of new techniques. But for you guys, we're going to take this old beater of a station wagon and we're going to thrash the absolute crap out of this track. So let's have some fun, see what happens. So I thought while we wait for everyone else to show up, we would do a few more sighting laps just to make sure the track condition is good. And the weather is starting to close in a bit, which is both good and bad. We have some blue skies over there. We have a nice storm coming in from that direction. And we've got a slight drizzle of rain, which is good, just to keep a bit of that dust down because there's not too much wind to blow it away. Now you may notice I am on the wrong side, and I'm also getting chauffeur driven around by my 11-year-old daughter. How you going there, Izzy?
Good.
Good? No, she's doing a marvellous job, doing a few sighting laps for me while we check out the track and check out the weather. So,
The window wipers are broken.
and they are broken right in your line of sight, aren't they?
No. I do look.
Don't you love all the old crap cars I buy?
Yeah, no.
You said yes first.
Because of the Sylvia.
Alright guys, so I think we better go do some laps in anger now, shall we? Get this thing kicked out sideways?
Okay.
Alright.
It's a Ford, it deserves it.
Oh, harsh, yeah. Alright, let's do this. Oh no, over the What did you do?
I had no sight over there whatsoever.
You're coming a bit hot on that corner. Oh.
It was just dust of anything. I come off the gas and then I thought, got to clear up shortly. But
No, it's there somewhere. Alright, so I think I'll do it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Next week, I'm not sure what we're up to, but right now we need to pop a tyre. Or not.